and not a lot going on at the moment. It's, what is it, the 6th of August. Been away for 4 days in the caravan, and that's a long time when you're not on the allotment in the middle of August. And as it always happens with August, August tends to display a lot of unseasonably bad weather. It's always called unseasonably, and yet we always get it this time of the year. So right now it's intermittent showers and rain, and the wind is blowing, and I've got the camera set up in the shed because I don't have all this clever sound equipment, so I apologise for the sound. So we got back yesterday, and I've been at work this morning, and I've got a couple of hours on the allotment this afternoon, and really all I've got time to do is a little bit of troubleshooting if there's any problems, which there doesn't appear to be. And now I've got to pick all the produce. So I've got to pick broad beans, I wish, runner beans, French beans, both the climbing one, Cobra, and the red purple one, Mystic. I think some of them look about ready to be picked now. I've just picked the raspberries. I took some potatoes last Thursday before we went away, and they're ready to be cooked. What else? I've just had a look round the pumpkins and the butternut squash, and they're all coming on a tree. Against all the good advice I had from people, I haven't cut all those leaders, those tendrils that were breaking out of the bed. I'm just fascinated to see how far they go. I'm just going to let them do their thing, and if it ruins my grass, it'll come back. So really, what am I doing a video for? Well, I'm doing a video, one, because I haven't done one for a while, and I don't want you all thinking I've dropped off the planet. And secondly, and most importantly, I managed to convince John, who's 3 allotments down from me, to introduce himself on camera and just talk a little bit about his plot. I gave him some questions to answer, and he very kindly agreed, and he's done that for me. He did it last week, and I'll attach it to this video. The other thing I thought I'd do, and I've thought long and hard about this, is put a little bit about me, and more importantly my family. Lots of people put videos on YouTube about allotments, and you really want to make yours a little bit different to everybody else's. And I know it's a risk, because people don't necessarily want to know about my family, they want to learn about allotments. Well, it's a decision I've come to, and the main thing that's driven it is I've got a lot of family abroad and away and doing things in other parts of the world, and I think they would be interested if I inserted a few clips very occasionally of what me and my family are getting up to. So this weekend we went to King's Lynn to watch my son, my youngest son, in a strongman competition, and it was fascinating. Never been to anything like that, so that's what we went and did, and I took a few clips, and I'm going to stick a few of those clips on this. You may find it of interest, you may not, but I think it's a little bit different, and it's an insight into me and my family and what we get up to. It's not all about an allotment, it's not all about fruits and vegetables. Sometimes it's about brute force and ignorance, and I'm not calling my son ignorant, I think that's the bit I excel at, but he's certainly got some brute force, and I'll put a few of those clips on as well. And of course the other reason is it's blowing so hard, and I know my sound is an issue, that I can't walk around the plot with the camera because you won't hear a thing I say. So thanks for watching. I'll hand over to John and then Daniel, my son, and I'll come back after those.
I'm John. I've lived in this area for about 30 years, mainly working in leisure management. I retired about 14 years ago. I've seen this plot develop. I used to bring Merlin, my dog, for a walk and call into the coffee shop at Hanley Farm, and just thought it would be a nice idea in my retirement to take on an allotment for the first time. I've had this plot for about 18 months. Thoroughly enjoyed being here. Part of the reason for having it was that having passed the plot several times walking my dog, I just thought it'd be a nice spot to be at, and for the first time try and grow some of my own produce. Having taken on the plot, I consider this as my little bit of paradise. I love to come most days. I actually blame my wife. She sends me off every day with a tasty packed lunch, and she made the mistake of buying me a shed for my birthday. She did actually comment a few weeks ago that she wished she bought a bigger shed, and then I could have slept here. This is my first full year having the allotment, so I started last year with runner beans, and I've had a little bit of success with them already this year. I've also had a fair crop of peas and potatoes, but I guess to date my success really has been with the runner beans. I've had a few excess pickings, and they've been taken to the farm shop. I've tried to grow crops that I use at home. I think if there were any crop that perhaps I would eliminate would be my 3 gooseberry bushes. They don't seem to fruit very much, so I think of any of the crops, I think I might well be digging out the gooseberry bushes. Apart from that, we seem to be ticking along quite nicely. I seem to be getting on top of the plot now, but when I took on the plot last year, it was overgrown a great deal. I don't think it'd been tended for a few years. A lot of couch grass, and in digging up the couch grass, I then discovered that there were wireworm in most of the areas. And in fact, this year I had to start with my onions again. I think with a bit of perseverance, I'm beginning to get on top of the wireworm. But that has been the biggest challenge I've faced in the 18 months that I've had the plot.
Daniel, move, move, move!
Ready? 3, 2, 1, step.
Daniel, that's it. Come on. One time now!
of the downsides of going away for 4 days in the caravan is you obviously don't keep an eye on your crops, and I don't want to ask John or Bridget to keep looking after them because we're away every couple of weeks, and it would get a bit onerous for them. So I let things get on with what they're doing, and size is important. All us fellas know that, and that's a good size courgette. That's where you want it. The trouble with going away every 4 days is that's what you end up with, and that's not the biggest of them. The rest are on the compost heap in bits, but there's a downside to everything. So yeah, that's what you want. Glad to see I'm still ahead of Barry's Atlantic Giant. This is our resident fruit expert.
Making a cod's ear of tying up the pears.
I have suggested to him to take off the odd fruit just to lighten the load.
I will do that.
But he's suggested an alternative approach, just to let them rot and fall.
Fall to the ground.
Which is why he's our expert.
The wildlife.
Yeah.
The wildlife here, and I'm not talking about some of the plotters either. The wildlife here needs to be fed as well.
Unusually thoughtful for Terry.
Yeah, there's a...
This is our latest creation, courtesy of Joe and Terry. I believe Joe did the artwork, and it's blimmin' lovely. So any excess produce we have that doesn't go to the farm shop, we put here. And I've started the ball rolling. Some of today's harvest, some's gone to the farm shop, but this lot's going home with me. Well, a bit of an odd one this week, but thanks for watching anyway, and I shall be up here at the weekend, so I'll do another one then. See you then. Thanks for watching. Bye.